These guys are driving me to drink, everyone. Oh, jeez, I plugged on myself. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Kiljaedas. How's it going? Another edition of the Raiders recap. Second to last one. It is combining the last 2 weeks. Week 15 and week 16, I think. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna go over the 2 games of the Raiders versus the Eagles, and of course the Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. So let's go ahead and get to it with the Eagles and try to be as quick as possible for this, because again, after all, it's going to be 2 reviews and everything. So the final score for the Raiders and Eagles game is the Raiders 10, the Philadelphia Eagles 19. The Eagles win, so they clinched the number 1 seed and everything, and we lost our chances of getting a 500 record. So instead of saving face and everything, we are now went from a playoff team to a below 500 team. Out fucking standing. Anyways, let's go over some team stats. Here we got total yards is 274 for the Raiders, 216 for the Eagles. So that's 4.3 yards per play for the Raiders, 3.5 yards per play for the Eagles. So for rushing, for passing, it is 137 yards for the Raiders, and it is 138 yards for the Eagles. Correction on the stat for the Raiders, I would say 140 for the Raiders. Again, the ESPN app is being an idiot. So for rushing, it is 137 yards for the Raiders, 78 yards for the Eagles. Penalties, it is the Raiders got 7 penalties for 50 yards. The Eagles got 8 penalties for 60 yards. Turnovers. Oh, Jesus. Okay. For penalties, it is the Raiders 5. Then the Eagles 2 turnovers. Basically, for the Raiders, it was 3 fumbles lost and 2 interceptions thrown. Meanwhile, the Eagles got 1 interception and 1 fumble loss and everything. So there is that. Let's go ahead and go straight to individual stats. Derek Carr, 15 for 29, 140 yards, 4.8 yard average, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he was sacked once for 3 yards. Derek Carr. And as for rushing, Marshawn Lynch got 25 carries for 95 yards. That's a 3.8 yard average, no touchdowns. Jalen Richard, 4 carries, 42 yards, 10.5 yard average, no touchdowns. Derek Carr, 3 carries for 3 yards, 1 yard average. DeAndre Washington, 1 carry for -3 yards, -3 yard average. For receiving, Amari Cooper, 3 receptions, 66 yards, 22 yard average, 1 touchdown. Seth Roberts, 3 receptions, 23 yards, 7.7 yard average, no touchdowns. Actually, no one else got a receiving touchdown, so that'll cut things short. Lee Smith, 2 receptions, 16 yards, 8.8 yard average. Jared Cook, 1 reception, 15 yards, 15 yard average. Jalen Richard, 2 receptions, 14 yards, 7 yard average. DeAndre Washington, 1 reception, 2 yards, 2 yard average. Marshawn Lynch, 2 receptions, -3 yards, -1.5 yard average. Here we go with the fumbles, the wonderful fumbles. Jalen Richard, 2 fumbles, both of them were lost. Marshawn Lynch, 1 fumble, which he lost. Derek Carr fumbled once, but he was not lost. And meanwhile, TJ Carey recovered a fumble. Good job, TJ Carey. So for defense, we'll go ahead. It was 2 sacks for the Raiders. Alltree and Ward got the 2 sacks, as well as we got around 4 tackles for losses. Autry Ward had 2, had 1 each, and then Bruce Irving had 2. And there's 1 interception that was thrown, that was caught, which was Reggie Nelson. He got the interception. Good job on you. Kick returns, DeAndre Washington 2, 41 yards, 20.5 yard average. Jim Richard 2 kick returns, 28 yards and 14 yards average. Punt returns, Jalen Richard 2 and for 20 yards, 10 yard average. For punting, it was Mark King kicking 5, punting the ball 5 times, 207 yards, 41.4 yard average. Only one of them was in the 20. Was inside the 20-yard line. And for kicking, Giorgio Tavecchio 1 for 2 on field goals, and 1 extra point. He gets 4 points in the game. It needs to say that for that game, it was just simply the turnovers. It was just absolutely horrendous that we just coughed up all consecutive turnovers in the second half. I don't want to get into it. I just do not want to get into it. Let's move on from there. All right, so the last game was just trying to be spoilers and everything. It was the Raiders having a home game. Even though we technically were away, we went to Los Angeles to play the Los Angeles Chargers. Final score 10-30. Chargers win in a very embarrassing game being played. Moving on to team stats, we got for total yards, it is 336 yards for the Raiders, 495 yards for the Chargers. Yards per play is 6.3 yards for the Raiders, 7.3 yards for the Chargers. For passing, it is 233 yards for the Raiders and 380 yards for the Chargers. So for rushing, it was 105 yards for the Raiders, 115 yards for the Chargers. Yeah. For penalties, it was 6 penalties for 85 yards for the Raiders, 7 penalties for 65 yards for the Chargers. For turnovers, it was 2 turnovers to 0. Raiders had 2 turnovers, 1 fumble loss, 1 fumble loss, 1 fumble interception thrown. I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible. I am fumbling over my words. Here we go, individual stats now. It is Derek Carr, 19 for 28, 243 yards. Yeah. It screwed up again. Anyways, 8.7 yard average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked twice for a combination of 12 yards. Rushing, Marshawn Lynch, 19 carries, 101 yards, 5.3 yard average. Congratulations, Marshawn Lynch, to getting to 10,000 rushing yards. You definitely pulled your weight by the end of the season after your suspension. Good job on that. I don't know if you're going to be back or not. I just don't know, and I don't know if I want you back. I don't know. It's all up to the higher powers. Anyways, continuing, DeAndre Washington, 2 carries, 3 yards, 1.5 yard average. Derek Carr, 2 carries for 1 yard, 0.5 yard average. Alright, for receiving, Amari Cooper, 3 receptions, 115 yards, 38.3 yard average, 1 touchdown. It's the only touchdown for receiving. Seth Roberts, 5 receptions, 48 yards, 9.6 yard average, 3 receptions, 35 yards, 11.7 yard average. Marshawn Lynch, 2 receptions, 18 yards, 9 yard average. 2 receptions for Michael Crabtree, 17 yards, 8.5 yard average, because apparently he decided to take himself out of the fucking game. don't know if that's true or not. I don't know, but it pisses me off if it is actually true. Jalen Richard, 1 reception, 6 yards, 6-yard average. Cordell Patterson, 1 reception, 4 yards average. DeAndre Washington, he got 2 receptions for 0 yards, 0 average. For fumbles, it was Derek Carr. He lost the 1 fumble. Johnny Holton at one point fumbled the ball like he usually does, but it was not lost. And for defense, it was Bowman and Irving got 0.5 sacks, so that combines to the 1 sack that we had. Meanwhile, for tackles for loss, we had 8 tackles for loss. Bowman had 1 tackle for loss. Mack had 1 tackle for loss. Bruce Irving had 1.5 tackles for loss. Altry had 2 tackles for loss. Shalik Calhoun had 0.5 tackle for loss. Vanderdoss got 1 tackle for loss, and McGill II also got 1 tackle for loss. All those tackle for losses, yet we lost the game. I do not get it. So, no interceptions, of course. So, for kick returns, it was Cordell Patterson getting 1 for a total of 20 yards, 20-yard average. Punt returns, it was Johnny Holton with 1 reception for no yards at all. For punting, Marcus King kicked it 3 times, 136 yards for 45.3 yard average. Only once was it inside the 20-yard line. And for kicking, Giorgio Tavecchio, 1 field goal, he 1 for 1, and of course 1 extra point that combines for 4 points and everything. And that concludes the stats and concludes our season. I do not get it. How we could play so terrible. I want to show you something I got for Christmas. Here is something my sister-in-law decided to give to me. It came in the mail just a couple days after the Christmas thing. It's called a Damn It doll. Apparently, you're supposed to hit this thing as hard as you can on something, say, and constantly scream, "Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it." Well, this was put to good use today. Very good use, because really, in field goal range, you want to go for it, but then you don't get the play down, so you call a timeout. And then you run a route with Marshawn Lynch on the right side to Vidal Alexander, who fucking sucks this year. Really? Damn it. Fucking really. You did a piss poor action going for it on 4th down to where the entire D-line breaks through the O-line and forces a fumble on Derek Carr. Really, damn it. Really. You were actually going toe-to-toe with the freaking Eagles. Granted, they did not have their freaking star quarterback. But then you commit 5 turnovers. 5 fucking turnovers. Really? Oh, look at that. I broke the freaking Damn It doll. This entire season has been like this. Where's your fucking pride? It boggles my mind. How we went from this one point where the AFC Championship title was in our sights. It looked like it was going to be a rematch. But ever since week fucking 4, We plummeted. Makes no sense. There's some news that came out today. I'm going to get to that in another video and during the finale. Are you guys as frustrated as I am, Radio Nation? I don't know. Anyways, I will see you all later in the next video. I'm just so freaking depressed right now. If you like the video, please leave a comment down below. And by all means, please tell your friends about me. See you later. Bye.